Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon. Jesse, we're back at it. Episode
17.
17. Look at that.
I feel like we should be on 18. 17
No,
seems
we're
wrong.
on
Garrett,
17.
did you miscount?
No, we're at 17.
I
bro.
know. That's what
God,
I said.
every week.
I want to see if we could get him.
Every week. Let's wait for him to turn his mic on.
Yeah, turn it on.
No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the audience.
Oh, he doesn't have a mic.
Again.
That's what I thought.
Way to let us down, Garrett.
Way to go, buddy.
She came to expect this, though.
Jeez. Some people just are not putting the effort into the show.
You hired him.
Oh, I did.
You did.
That was on me.
You can fire him.
You weren't exactly putting the effort in.
Can you hear him over there eating pickles?
He is. He's eating pickles over there.
You hear him over there eating pickles?
Hey, I want to talk about your effort, though.
What? My effort's A all the time.
A all the time?
All the time.
I felt like a C today.
What do you mean?
I felt like a C.
What do you mean? Just because I came in reading the show notes before
Yeah,
we
I
started?
walked in like, hey, okay, well, let me read these. Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
All right, and what was there talking? No, that's what we're talking about today.
I still kill it every time, though.
You got me.
Well, it's not much to read. We got
go together.
4 words on a piece of paper, and that's our show notes.
That's about right. I think
And-
I counted 7, to be
Yep.
honest, this time.
And
'cause you
one
put-
sentence is always, don't swear.
You put love Brandon Bombardo at the bottom, so
Yeah.
I counted those.
And I double spaced it.
Yeah, you did.
It's like that little trick in high school, you double spaced it and then write some gibberish in there.
Yeah, I did that quite a bit.
You write your full name.
I can't believe they even read
Written
my paper.
by.
There's an extra
Yeah,
word.
there's an extra word in there for me. Oh, God.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, too much fun. Yeah, hey,
Always.
Garrett. Are you done with your pickles? Are we good now?
All I can hear is him crunching
I know,
back
crunching
there. It's
back there.
distracting.
It's
Stop.
kind of distracting. Speaking of effort, you kind of get what you put in, right?
You do.
Or get out what you put in?
You get out what you put in. I
There
think
it
is
is.
what
That's
they say.
what we're trying to say. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today because I think there's something that's to be said about success.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people just think success comes natural for some people,
I'm sure for some it does.
but I don't think it does. That's false. I mean, I
You don't think
don't
so?
believe nobody out there is successful just naturally. The reason they're successful is the way they act, the way they do things.
Right.
That comes natural to them. So to the outside world, it looks like, oh, it's just they're naturally successful.
Well, some people, I think, maybe could they be born into success? I mean, that's maybe what I was thinking. Like, maybe you're born into a set
But I
of
still don't think that's true
circumstances.
because you still have to learn.
Oh, I'm
You
tracking with
still
you.
have to, you can have successful parents and you can have a successful family, but you could still be a screw up,
Yeah, you
right?
can. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Right? You could be that kid that just doesn't pay attention, doesn't care, and just goes off and, you are the black sheep of the family, right?
Like Garrett.
Like Garrett.
Sheep is a sheep, but also meat and wool.
There you go.
You
Nailed it.
You nailed it.
Well, Garrett, I'd love for you to speak back here, but you forgot your mic again.
Oh, we're going to hammer on you this whole episode. We
this
told
is
you to have a
great.
mic.
Yeah. We literally
yeah.
tell him to bring his mic every week, and every week he forgets his mic.
Every week he fails us.
Every week. He sits there with the computer and pushes those little buttons. Ding, ding.
Man, I must have the best job in the world.
He brings his lunchbox, and he brings his sippy cup.
He's got his pickles.
Yep, and he brings his nap mat, but
Yeah.
he doesn't bring a microphone.
He forgets his microphone.
Yep.
Garrett, what's the one thing I tell you to bring to podcast day?
Terrific guy. Great head of hair.
Microphone.
For all of you who didn't hear him.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, success, man. I get what you're saying. I just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of look at it from the other
Yeah,
view.
no, and but that's the thing and I'm glad you said it because that's what I want people to think about is like, why are these people successful?
Yeah.
Well, okay, some of it is people have more resources around them to be successful, right?
Right.
Yeah, but how did they get there? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with, putting the extra effort in when people aren't looking.
Right.
Success doesn't come just naturally for most people, okay? Let's put out there that maybe there is a small, group of people that just they're successful and it is what it is. But that's a small group of people.
Right. It's not everybody.
The majority of people who are successful, it's because of the efforts they've put in.
I agree with you.
And when you talk about, what does success mean? Essentially it is an accomplishment of, aim or purpose. It's
So when you achieve a goal.
correct. Success is different for each person. Some people, how do you gauge success? I guess is how I say it. It's different for each person. It's attained by some people. It's like the fame. It's their fame and glory, if you will.
Right.
Some people it's their wealth. And some people it's their social status.
Yeah. Yep.
It can be different for every person. What do you consider success, right? To me, success is different than probably what it is for you, what it is for Garrett, what it is for the next person.
Yeah, I think only you can judge your success
Correct.
for the most part, right?
But that's the problem is everybody judges everybody, right?
Right.
Everybody.
That's the world we
judges
live in.
Yep, that's the world you live in, and you talk about how it correlates to your business. everybody judges your business, right?
Absolutely.
And you hear it a million times.
More than
People-
ever.
Like, yeah, people are probably telling you how you should be running your business, especially right now.
Dude, we have apps where you can go and leave reviews and tell people how much
Yeah.
their business sucks or rocks, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what, I mean, I think it's good and it's bad because it opens up the world to people being able to share their experience.
Right.
But it also clouds the world up because the experiences can be so misconstrued. You know, you can put something out there just because you
You're
don't
mad.
agree. Yeah, you don't agree. And it's like, that's kind of weird. So, you know, when you start looking at people and how this correlates to their business, if you put in the time, you generally are going to have a reward at the end, right? I mean, generally speaking, you will see more reward for more effort.
Yeah, as long as you're putting in productive time, right? If I just showed up at ShopSabre, sat at my desk, and I twiddled my thumbs.
Correct. But that goes back to the effort.
Yeah.
The more effort and time you put in, right?
Yep.
The better your reward is. right?
Absolutely.
You're going to get a reward if you show up regardless, right?
Yep.
I mean, you are going to get a reward for showing up,
Something.
but that reward runs out, right?
Yep.
That's the difference.
As
is
soon
that
as
the-
your patience runs out with me not selling machines.
Well, that's
right?
the that's the difference though. Is like showing up and sitting at your desk, you're going to get rewarded. You're going
Yeah.
to get paid for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
But eventually,
that payment's going to
reward
stop.
runs out. Yeah, like we fixed the glitch, right?
We fixed the glitch.
Fix the glitch. But, you know, if you spend the effort perfecting yourself or your product or whatever it is, you're likely going to see an increase in success.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where I think this has to go, is that when you start looking at your business, all the people listening out there, your business might be very successful today. What you're doing today might be working. But how do you perfect it to be continuously successful?
Right. How are you going to be successful tomorrow?
Yeah, and that's, you know, kind of one thing I like to get into a little bit here is like, what is 10 things you simply never see in a successful person?
That's a really good question. Fear?
Yeah, that's the number one on my list all the time too, is fear. They don't fear change or failure, because you hear people all the time. They're like, I don't want to, as an example, I don't want to buy a CNC machine because they're afraid they can't run the machine, right?
Right.
So you literally hold yourself back because of a fear that may literally be nothing.
Nothing.
You know, like literally you don't do something because of something that may not ever happen.
Something could be scary down the road.
Something could happen. You know, like you're what? Like you're not going to walk down the path because there might be somebody hiding in the bush?
I'm not going to get in the car and drive to work because I may get a flat tire.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. You
No,
know?
it's-
So they always accept challenges, right?
Yep.
They always accept the challenge. And then the other thing is they don't settle.
True.
That's another thing, is like they don't settle. Never selling out for the long, you know, they set these long-term goals, right?
Right.
My long-term goal is to grow a business, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to sell out on my long-term goal of growing that business for some instant gratification, right?
Right.
I made 3 sales, so now I'm happy, right? Like, no, like what's the long game, right? How
Yeah.
am I going to get there long-term?
Right.
How am I going to get my business to that next level? That's where you have to start thinking about the long game and what you're going to do. You know, when you start getting into not settling, you know, it's more or less is what am I going to do to make sure that I'm always pushing for that successful moment, right?
Yep.
And
Not accepting mediocrity.
correct, yeah. And they have a plan. That's the third thing. They always have a plan. Like lack of plan is something you never see, you know, in a successful person. Like
You
they,
can't just wing it.
yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, being honest, you can.
That's how I do
And
a lot of things.
It works. I mean, it does. For some people, that's their plan, though.
Right.
Like, that's their plan sometimes, is that they literally are going to wing it, right? That
Just
might
gonna
be
go
their
with it.
plan. Like, go with it. But they don't ever assume they're there. Even if you're winging it, like, you're like, I know I got to do this next. I got
Right.
it. There's something to push you forward, right? They never assume, like, we made it. We're good. We're done.
Like they've arrived and they're
Out.
done.
Yep,
I've
I'm
arrived. I'm good. I'm done. Everything will take care of
Yeah,
itself from
no,
here.
exactly. Like, you know, they have a plan for tomorrow.
Yep.
Like, tomorrow I'm going to have to do something, right?
Right. Because today's plan should be already taken care of because you're planning for tomorrow, right?
Correct, yeah. And then they don't let their goals, actions, or values get controlled by an ego. You know,
Smart.
it's so easy, and you see it like, you know, you see it really in like politics. You see
Yep.
it in celebrities, where like they were nobody
Yep.
and they were a person, right? They were
Yep.
a person,
Yeah.
and then they become somebody, and now they are B person, right? They're
Right.
somebody completely different. They've changed. Like they're better than the world now.
Like Kim Kardashian.
Well,
That's the example that popped to my head. Just saying.
I don't know Kim Kardashian, so I can't speak for her. But what I can say is it's, you know, it's one of those things where you can't let your success go to your head, you know?
Right.
And like, there's a difference in cocky because you're confident in what you do,
Right.
and cocky because you're arrogant.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
just sounds like you gotta be able to check yourself, right?
Yeah.
To be able to have that look in the mirror and know that, hey, I'm not the greatest thing on earth. I'm doing my thing and it's working, but I'm not the best thing.
Well, you have to have that. Otherwise, like, again, it goes back to the things at the top of this list. If you're going to end up settling and then you're not going to have a plan.
Yeah.
Because I'm the greatest that there ever was,
Correct.
right? You can't have that,
Yeah,
mentality.
you can't get too big for your britches.
Yeah, and that's, what the heck was that?
You never heard that
For
before?
your britches.
You can't get too big for
You
your
can't
britches.
get too big for your britches.
Sorry.
I thought I was sitting across the table from Grandpa or something there. Jeez.
It's the beard. All the added wisdom I get from this thing.
It's not wisdom.
Liar.
But yeah, then they don't fall into the negative crowd either.
That's important.
I think that's the biggest thing here is that everybody out there. Oh, let's try this again.
Ding.
Ding. Everybody out there has that one person in their life that is the secret rooter, right? And I say that because you have your friends,
Yeah.
but you always have that person in your life that's rooting against you.
Yeah.
Because you're successful, they don't want you to be successful.
Yep.
You can't have that person controlling you. That's what I say is with your business. When you start, getting into things like, hey, I want to buy a CNC. I'm going to buy a CNC for my business, right?
Yeah.
You got that one person that's like, oh, that's a terrible idea.
Yep.
Is it terrible because you didn't think of it? Is
Right.
it because I might be successful because of it?
Or you know nothing about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're quick to judge on it, and they fall into that negative routine of oh, the prices of everything are rising, so we're all in trouble. No, that's not always the truth. Yeah, prices are rising, but yeah, so is business, right?
Yep.
So is this. We have to think about look at the good stuff. There's still good things happening in the world, even when there are bad things happening.
Right. It's trends. This has happened
Successful
before.
people choose to look at those. I met a guy one time when the economy wasn't doing really well. And I'm like, yeah, the economy's kind of, on the downward. He goes, the good news is we're closer to the upswing. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. In the worst opportunity for him to be yep, nope. He was like, we're closer to the upswing. Because
Yeah.
he's right. You can only go down so far before it goes back up, right?
Right.
And you can only go so high before it falls back down. You have to be aware of that stuff. And, being able to set yourself up the plan for tomorrow, right?
Yep.
That's where it comes back to it. So, that's something else that you see is that they don't fall into that negative crowd. Successful people typically surround themselves with other successful people or
That's
companies.
so important.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most important things you could speak of.
Yeah, and that's why ShopSabre as an example. We work with companies that have reputations
Correct.
because we want to work with people who have reputation just like us. We don't
Absolutely.
want to fall into that crowd of people who are going to drag you down.
Right. You don't want someone else's reputation
Correct.
to drag your company down.
Correct, and it kind of goes back hand in hand with CNC equipment. When you think about it. So, when you start looking at, another thing that people that are successful typically steer away from is they don't do the easy stuff first ever.
Right. They tackle the challenges.
The challenges, exactly. They learn about something new, right? The easy answer is outsource something, right? As an example,
That's an easy answer.
right? Somebody else is going to do the work for me.
Yep.
But the challenge that they tackle is how do I do it myself to make more profit?
Correct.
That's the thing where you challenge yourself, challenge your business, and then they always open the door for opportunity. It's always there.
You just got to hear it knocking.
Listen.
Let it in.
Listen. There it is. So, but no, seriously, when opportunity knocks, I know it sounds cliche, you have to answer though.
You do.
And that's how you do it. Is how do you answer some of these challenges is you have a plan. You know what you're going to do. And sometimes it's wing it. That's your plan.
Yep.
We're going to take it. I don't know how we're going to accomplish it yet, but we're going to wing it, right?
Right,
That's
right.
my plan. My plan is to say yes.
Sometimes you got to wing it on the fly. You walk into the cabinet shop and John quits today. What are you going to do? You got to wing it.
Yep.
You're going to have to do something.
Yep.
Call ShopSabre.
Yeah, call ShopSabre. But yeah, they don't dwell on the past.
Right.
Like you said, something happened.
Yep.
It's easy to go, well, that happened and now we can't do it.
Short-term
nope.
memory.
Yesterday was yesterday. Today is today. Move
Yep.
on.
Short-term
right?
memory.
Yep.
Move past it.
Move past it. We have failed. Let me tell you a little thing about the hardest thing for me when I started here. My dad is really good at that. He was obviously I was a lot younger then, so my dad was my dad, and obviously when I worked for him when we first started, I literally lived with him. So he'd come to work, I'd go to work. Obviously we'd do our daily thing throughout the day, and I get in trouble at work, right?
Yep.
He'd tell me that I didn't do something right. And the kid in me was like, forget you, Dad.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore.
You're not my buddy.
You're not my buddy anymore. And we'd go home, and my dad would sit down at the dinner table, and we were normal again. And I hated it. How does he do that? He just turns it off, you know? But it actually made me realize in life you have to have that switch where what happened, and you move forward. You can't dwell on it. And he was really good at it, and I hated it, how good he was at it, but it's made it so that I can be that way too. And
You are that way.
yeah, it
Yep.
does. It happens, but it's you have to be able to put bad moments behind you so you can have more good moments.
Yeah, that's something you've taught me.
Yeah.
That's something you've legitimately taught me since I've been here.
You know, and I got it from my dad. Like I said, I always laugh about it because it's like I literally was like, Dad, don't talk to me. We're not friends right now.
It's a hard thing to do,
It
though.
is really hard.
It is to have something big happen and be like, that's behind me.
Yep.
We're moving forward.
Moving forward, exactly.
It's hard.
But you know what? It makes you better, though.
I remember you put me in timeouts for that. Remember that?
Timeouts.
Yeah, remember that? I
was
made a
good time.
mistake, and you're like, you need to take a 10-minute walk, put
Yeah.
this behind you, and come back in and let's crush it. I'm like,
because
how
it
do you
wrecks
do
your
that?
whole day.
It does.
You know, I sit there watching you, and you spin your wheel because you made a mistake on something. It's like,
Yep.
man, this guy's going to beat himself up for 8 hours.
Yeah, and
All right.
yep.
Go on timeout. Go take a walk,
Yeah,
man. Like,
I
go
did,
Find
I
something.
did.
And, but it does. You come back and you realize, like, the world's problems aren't as bad as I thought they
Yeah,
were.
it wasn't a big
Let's
deal.
move forward.
Yeah.
And that's how it is in, like, the world of your business. Like, you have to be the same way, and, like, the CNC can help you do that stuff. Like, yeah, I made a mistake on this one part, right? Don't worry, we got a CNC machine. Let's make a new one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, John may have glued it in the wrong spot or stapled it in the wrong spot or whatever, painted it the wrong color. We got a CNC machine. Let's do it again. Like, move forward. Small mistakes, let them go. Boom. We move forward. Yeah, it costs you money. Time is money, but you know what? You're going to waste more time dwelling over that.
Yeah, you are.
And more money.
Yep.
So just move forward.
Yep.
And then, there's some guy out there like, and record this episode right now and then play it back to my boss. He's doing that right now. Like, hey, listen to these guys. Time's money, but you're wasting your time worrying about me. That's not what I'm saying, man. Like, still don't mess things up if you don't have to. But,
Yeah, I made that one mistake, and I haven't made one since, right?
Yeah. Never made a mistake since then.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Good.
Good. Yeah, but but in seriousness though, they don't forget what got them where they are either. Like that's the number 9 on the list. Like,
Always remember where you came from.
Yep. Always remember where you came from. If the cookies are good, don't change the recipe, right?
Why'd you go there?
Oh, the cookies every week.
Gosh.
Cookies. But yeah,
It
seriously.
even
though,
says that. If cookies are good, don't change the recipe.
it's truth.
Now
Though,
I
isn't
want
it?
some cookies.
Right? It's the truth though.
You did this,
I
just so
did
you
this.
know.
This
You
is
took
not
it
me.
here.
This is not me.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. People
very true.
get away from like what made them good at what they did, and grinding or being like the hard worker is what got you there. And people like, oh well, I've been good for 3 years now. I don't have to try anymore.
It's like they forget that.
Yeah, like no. How you were successful is because you were not afraid to be the grinder and afraid to like
Right.
work hard.
Right.
Like adding the CNC machine was your next step, right? And they
Yep.
get all the way to the step where like, okay, we're successful. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, no, add the CNC machine, keep being successful.
Right. It's like you
Add
just lose your mind.
Add
like,
the new machine.
oh,
Add the new
God.
employee. Like, yeah, like the reason you got to where you were is you added something to your shop.
Right.
Like you walked out in your shop one day and you were like, I'm gonna buy a table saw. I'm gonna buy a mill. I'm gonna buy a dust collector. Like whatever you bought that started your business, right? There was something that kicked it off.
Yep.
Like at what point do you like I don't need to grow anymore, we're good. Like out. Like, no, that's not how it works.
No.
Wells Fargo's calling tomorrow, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Those
Like-
bills are still due.
Yep. They don't fail. Like simple as that. Successful people don't fail. I know that sounds stupid, but successful people don't fail because failure isn't an option for them.
Right.
They learn from it. Yeah, you might not be successful in your own mind on something, right?
Right.
I tried to build this and it didn't work. I didn't fail. I learned
Yep.
because the next time I do it, I'm going to do it differently, right?
Right.
You only fail once you quit and give up. That's when you fail.
That's the only time you fail.
only
is
time
when
you fail.
you say stop.
Yep, when you say, okay, I'm out. So the reality is, when you get into the success of a business and how people are, like, there's a lot of things that, and I know that right now people are like, this has nothing to do with CNC, but it has everything to do with CNC.
It does. Absolutely.
When you talk about, the business owner and the time they put into it and what other people see, that's all related to this because, people only see the rewards. They see the nice house,
Yep.
the nice car,
Fancy vacations.
fancy vacations,
Yeah.
The Facebook world, if you will. I call it the Facebook world. Like I always refer to it as the Facebook world.
It's like a fake planet.
It is because
Yep.
like you see it. Right?
I do. That's why I don't have it.
Yeah, like I have Facebook, but like me and my wife are not like Facebook people. Like we don't go out and like, my wife was so great today. Yada yada yada. Like I
Like you don't post what you had for breakfast,
I don't
lunch,
need to.
dinner,
But
snacks.
I don't need to like, I don't need to fill the world full of that stuff.
Okay.
Like for me, that to me is like I call the Facebook world because you
Yeah.
look in this little window and people show you what they want you to see, right?
Yep.
But little do you know, their whole world is on fire around them. Like you're looking in, oh man, look at their table. It's so nice. But their
yeah.
couch is burning to the ground.
Right.
Like it's the world of like, you only see the rewards.
Oh, look how clean my kitchen is.
Yeah.
Let me see your laundry room.
Correct. Exactly. Like open that closet. I bet it's all shoved in there.
Right.
Like speaking of that, don't open my closet because there's a lot of junk shoved in the closet. We're moving and it's just a mess right now. So don't go in there.
I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I have closets full of stuff. I don't know what it is.
People come over and I'm like, oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just shove all this in the closet. Look at our house is clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when you talk about it though, is people miss the 80-hour work weeks, right?
Yeah.
They miss the fact that you're missing dinners, the fact that you're working Saturday mornings, like that's something that I think is like missed by a lot of people. Like, I mean, you guys always joke about it. Like, how many times you guys get an email from me, like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it's
3 in the morning.
ridiculous.
Like,
It's
and
ridiculous.
You guys all give me a hard time.
You're up, so I'm up. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Is, oh, hey, my phone's dinging at 2:41 in the a.m. Oh, look, I have a lead on Saturday. Thanks.
Yep. But that's the reality of that's what people miss for success. Like, it takes that to be successful. It's like people need your attention. And when your customer has a question, if you see it, I take care of it. It's just how it is. But people miss that. They don't see the Sunday work, the Saturday mornings, when everybody else is out sleeping or doing their thing, like that's when successful people are doing their thing.
Yep.
And when you start talking about that, like I have my friend Timmy, the guy is just one of those guys that will work till he's blue in the face. Like, I race with him. He's a really good friend of mine, but he owns like 4 different businesses.
He's a go-getter.
He's just a grinder.
Yeah.
The guy is a grinder. And my buddy will literally work himself till he can't work anymore, and then he'll work a little bit more. But like, the dude doesn't ever sleep. Like, I don't know how he lives. Like, he doesn't sleep.
No one's ever died from a lack of sleep.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what, the guy absolutely is a grinder. And it's funny because we go racing, and he sleeps every time we go racing. Every time we go racing, he's like sleeping in the passenger seat. So I take selfies with him because like, that's my thing. I take selfies with him as we're driving down the road. Like, I'll get to a stop sign, take a picture of me and
Just
him
mouth open, drooling.
Dude, seriously, I do it all the time, and I always post online. Everybody gets a kick out of it. But the reason I do it is like as a joke because it looks like he's sleeping all the time. But what people don't see, like I said, it's the Facebook world, right? I let everybody see Timmy sleeping. What they don't see is that he hasn't slept for like 3 days. You know,
Right.
like he's been grinding away. So, but his businesses are successful because of that. And like he said, it allows him to do the things he wants to do with his family then, and it's kind of a cool thing to think about is like, the risks were taken, right? You as the businesses, you take these risks, right?
Yep.
There's a reason why people are coming to you to buy your product because you're good at what you do. But the reason you're good at what you do is because you took the risk to get there, right?
Right.
You quit the 9-to-5 job, right, to become a business owner.
Yep.
Or you work longer hours for your business owner because you don't want, to be working a 9-to-5 job. You don't want to be doing some of the mundane stuff, right? You want to get into some of the more exciting stuff that you're getting to do, right? Whatever it is, whether it's the pay scale you're in, the vacations, whatever your reward is,
Right.
There's a reason why you chose it.
Yep.
Well, when you look at a CNC machine, now I know everybody, again, like I said, is still sitting there going, he still hasn't talked about CNC. But let's get into that, okay? Let's talk about CNC as the risk and reward, right?
Yeah.
You may have no CNC experience, right?
Right.
Risk,
That is a risk.
right? But the reward is that if you do learn it, now you have an advantage, do you not?
That's true.
Because now everybody who's not running a CNC machine can't do what you can do.
Correct.
So there's your reward.
Yep.
Risk reward.
Yep.
When you start talking about increasing your volumes because you've adapted and embraced the change, reward, right?
Reward.
You start looking at the long-term growth,
Winning.
right? Reward.
Yep.
So let's go down that list real quick. I want to do this real quick. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
Fear. Okay.
Okay.
You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
Where's the reward in that?
Learning to run the machine.
Yeah. If reward is your advantage when you learn to run the machine.
Right.
Your advantage, right?
You beat that fear.
So you beat the fear.
You took your fear of not knowing something, you learned it, and now it's no longer a fear.
Correct. And then, we had another one on there that said they don't settle, right?
Right.
Well, you increase your business tomorrow because of your choice today.
Right.
So you didn't settle.
Exactly.
Right? You chose to grow.
Yep.
Right? The plan, right? We talked about plans, right?
Yep.
What do you need to do to keep in front of your competition?
You got to be adapting. You got to change. You got to get the advantage over them.
Correct. So you stay in front of the big box stores or,
Yep.
whether it's a science shop or, cabinet shop, whatever you do,
Right.
whether you're a fabricator, you get that big job you wanted, right? You go
Yep.
after the work you wanted, right? You
Yep.
sell more product that you're working with or you work less. Some people, that's what it is. That's their reward, right? That's their
work less?
plan. My
Yeah.
plan is I work 80 hours a week right now. I want to work 60, right?
that'd
That's a
be
plan,
huge.
right?
Yeah.
It's a plan. It doesn't mean they want to quit working. They
Right.
just want to make their life easier.
Right.
CNC can
Balance
do that,
things out a little
right?
more.
And then, nobody's too big to fail. Remember when we talked about that?
Yep.
Nobody's too big to fail. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
Okay, don't stop working. Like, that goes back to what we were talking about before. When we looked at it, and we really go through this, is, they don't let their goals, actions, values get controlled by an ego.
Right.
That's nobody's too big to fail.
Yep.
Remembering that you're just one bad decision away from it, right?
Yep.
Don't let your
it's-
competition get the upper hand on you. Like, they're all going to CNC, and you're like, I don't need to do that. That's stupid.
You watch them pass you by.
Watch them pass you by, exactly, and you become obsolete, right?
Yep.
And you're trying to catch up now.
You can pick up their scraps, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then, grinders find grinders.
Yep.
right? We
Yep.
talked about that. Winners want to be around winners. Successful people around successful people.
Yep.
Grinders find grinders.
Yes, they do.
Companies like ShopSabre want customers who want to win. We've said it 100 times. Like
Plain and simple.
We sell machines for application specific. We don't go out there and try to sell based on a price. That's not finding winners, right?
Right.
Because if you go out there and just try to sell your product based on price, you're finding the people who want to cut corners, right?
Absolutely.
That's what you're looking for.
Yep.
You're looking for the cheaps.
Yep.
Like, I'm looking for the grinders. I want the people who want the best product they can possibly buy
Yep.
and grind out and can depend on my product.
Absolutely.
That's
I agree
who
with you
I wanna partner
wholeheartedly.
with,
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
And then, it's easy to let someone else do it, right?
Yeah, it's easy to pay someone to cut that material.
Yep.
Easy to pay someone to cut that job.
Take on the work. Add the equipment. Learn something new.
Right.
Like, that's what you need to do.
Better yourself.
Yeah, better yourself, better your company, better your employees, everything around you.
You're not growing if you're not learning.
Correct? Ever.
Ever.
I love that statement. Like, you don't grow if you don't learn.
Right.
And, open the doors. There's doors all around us. Like,
Right.
every day there's something that you could choose. You have two paths every day. You get up in the morning, right? You get to choose. Like, am I going to go to work today or not go to work today?
Yep.
That's a choice you make every day.
Choice is always yours.
Yep, it's always yours. But when you choose to go to work, there you go.
Yep.
You've chosen something, right? The work is there. And then worry less about what ifs and do more of the what can I do, right? Like,
Yeah.
what if I don't do this? Or what if I do
We
that?
can play what ifs all
Play
day.
the what if. Yeah, I mean, what if the economy
I
fails
hate
today?
that
What if the
game.
economy explodes tomorrow? What if this? What if that? What if? What if?
Right.
The reality is what can I do today to make tomorrow better? That's all I care about.
Right.
What I can do is go get that work.
How can you change something that's never happened?
Correct. How can you worry about something that you literally don't know is going to ever happen?
Right.
Like, that's just crazy to me. And then past jobs, right? Past successes.
Yep.
Like, man, we did the biggest hotel in the state of Washington. Okay. When? 6.5 years ago.
What have you done since then?
Yeah, like, you're still living on that deal? Like, let's go. Like, what's today?
Yeah.
What's the next job you got coming forward?
Yeah. That building you built's outdated now.
Yep. By the way, John just redid the cabinets inside that building.
Yeah.
Like, you got to think about that. Like, get yourself on the front end. Keep pushing forward. Be that company that everybody wants to deal with,
Yep.
Be that company. Go after that work.
Be the leader.
Yeah, for sure. And then, the one thing you have to think about is hard work got you here, right? Hard work gets you there.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
You're right.
Right? So reputation is everything. Delivery, quality, whatever the answer is, right? Be the answer for your customer. They want something in a delivery time frame. They want something that's a quality level. They want customer service. They want something is why they came to you.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they probably just go online and buy something.
Correct.
I mean, realistically. Now,
Yeah.
in today's world, like
Amazon.
Amazon it all. Yeah,
Amazon
really.
it all.
So the answer is go after the customer. Like, be the answer to their question or their problem.
Yeah.
So, and then don't fail, right?
You can't fail.
Don't fail. Like, you could fall down, but failing is only when you quit.
Yeah, you got to get up.
You got to adapt. You got to be versatile. And CNC machines allow you to be versatile, right?
Yep.
Am I wrong on that one? I mean, really, think about that. Like, as we talk about adapting and we talk about the change, we talk about successful people go after the work. So
They
I'm
do.
a cabinet shop, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? There's a sign guy in town that needs some stuff cut. Why would I not do it? I have a CNC machine.
You're scared.
Because I don't know how to make a sign.
Right.
Guess what? I can learn anything.
Or maybe you're shy.
Maybe you don't want to go talk to him.
Maybe you don't want to go talk to
Because you're
the
afraid
sign
he
guy.
knows more than you.
Maybe his name's Harold.
Guess what? He knows. Poor Harold. He knows more than you. I'm going to be honest with you. The sign guy probably knows more than you. That's okay. Because you go up to him and you tell him you have a CNC machine and you'd love to cut his project.
Yep.
And hey, maybe we can use our knowledge to help each other out. Because as a cabinet guy, you probably know how to assemble things.
Right.
You probably know how to hang things. There's probably some advantages that you have that guy may not understand.
Now you're building
Finishes,
a relationship.
right? Finishes. You
Yep.
might know how to finish something a little better than he does. But that person knows that, like, okay, this is better for this situation. That's better for that situation. Or you use your contacts and you make something together.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Sean Morley, right?
Yep.
Sean Morley did that. He connected with another shop and it turned into something completely different. I mean, he's a cabinet guy. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But he cuts signs now. He cuts furniture. He does all
He's
kinds of
in a
things.
lot of different stuff.
Yeah, he gets in all kinds of stuff because he got to know other people.
Yeah. And he's
He
built some
met
awesome
people-
relationships, I bet.
Yeah, and you know what I always tell everybody, and you hear me say this all the time, but what's one phrase I always say? I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
Have I said that?
All
Many
the
times,
time.
Right? Because being the smartest person in the room means that you're never going to learn. You can't learn if you're the smartest. Somebody's got to teach you something.
Right.
So
I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because I don't want to answer all those questions.
I want to be able to ask questions. I
Right.
enjoy asking questions.
Right. Me too.
I love learning. Even if it's something dumb and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry this is a dumb question, but I want to know it. I want
Right.
to understand how it works.
Yeah. I love learning too.
Yeah, it's just,
Doesn't matter how dumb it is.
yeah.
I just like learning.
Like I learn about things that like I'll probably never use in my life, but you know what? I want to know how it works.
Absolutely.
But it's helped me so many times because I've learned about things that like I thought would never help me. And then it comes up in a conversation later. I'm like, hey, actually, I know something about that. You know?
Right. See, like the time I called you and asked to help re-engineer plastic bags. See,
Yeah.
that's something we're always learning.
You mean the time you told me to invent the bag that already exists?
Yeah, but a quiet one. The one that's not loud and blows around in the car and distracts me.
You mean like the cloth ones that already exist?
Shh. They don't give you those free at the gas station, remember? That was part of the discussion.
Remember when we discussed that nobody does anything for free?
Yeah, but nobody brings that cloth bag into Super America to get a pop either.
You guys see what I'm dealing with here? Jesse calls me up one night, driving on the road. And he goes, Brandon,
It's a true story.
Brandon, we
I
have to
was-
invent something.
I was pissed, by the way.
He was really angry. And I'm like, what do we have to invent? And I'm thinking, like, what did I forget to do on the CNC machine world, right? That's where my brain is. And he's like, I just left SA.
Yeah.
And I'm driving down the road, and the bag is making all this noise.
Yeah, the air conditioner was blowing it all over. I couldn't
No,
hear what
your
I was
window was
listening
down
to.
is what it was.
Yeah,
Your
it was
window was
right. It was
down.
window.
And he doesn't even remember his own story. His window's down.
getting
So
old.
my first question was, why didn't you roll the window up? His answer is, well, it's nice outside.
Yeah, I want to enjoy the weather.
So I told him, turn the radio up then. Did I not tell you to turn
You
the radio up?
did?
And then
You
he says,
did?
well, I could do that, he says.
But then I can still hear the bag.
And he goes, why don't we just invent a bag that doesn't make noise?
Yeah.
I said, okay, what kind of bag are you thinking? He's like a woven bag. I'm like, oh, like a cloth bag.
Yeah, but
And then he's like, well, I mean, yeah. So the bags that you can already get, you want me to invent.
yeah, but quiet. Quiet.
So it'd still be
and
quiet.
biodegradable, right?
And then he says to me, but they don't give them away at the store.
yeah, they
So
don't.
you want me to make this magical bag, have it be the most quiet bag that's ever existed.
Yes.
And then you want me to give them away for free.
I'll charge me 5 cents on my order. I don't care. Whatever.
So for 5 cents, I
But
gotta
want
come up
a
with this
quiet
magical bag.
Yes.
I think I'd work for NASA if I was that guy.
Hey, it was just something I was thinking of. I was trying to be better, and I called the smartest guy in the room.
No, you.
Smartest guy I know.
No. The
That's a
plan
lie,
was-
too, yeah.
The plan was terrible. I'm just gonna go with that.
I'm
The
glad
plan-
you were there to talk me out of
Yeah,
that one, though.
I'm glad I could talk out of it. You know, there's certain doors I don't open.
Once I started calling the financial advisor saying, "Hey, I need some money. I got a
I
goal here."
got this really good plan. I'm gonna make bags. I'm gonna give away
Bree
for
said, "I'm
free.
going to leave you."
God.
Good thing you were there.
Yeah, jeez. But this story just derailed the entire episode.
That's all right. People come to expect this from us at this point.
If you don't expect this from us at this
You're
point,
listening to the wrong show.
wrong podcast. That's the next one over. Dude just takes a drink of his water in the middle of talking.
Baths and things with Lisa is what you want to listen to. then.
Baths and things with Lisa. What
Yeah.
the heck?
That's the next podcast over.
Oh, is
Go
that
look.
the next one over? Okay. Nevertheless, apparently he's been opening the doors.
All of them.
But yeah, so, you know, as we're talking about, you know, when you talk about CNC, you know, you have to think about that. Like, these CNC machines that you see companies running, they're not by mistake. You know,
Right.
companies don't fall into that stuff. It's not accidental success.
Just dropped off on the doorstep.
like, we hear it all the time from companies that are 1 or 2 man shops, 3 man shops. Like, we're not big enough for a CNC machine. You're absolutely big enough.
You're the perfect size.
Like, you're exactly what you need a CNC machine.
You do.
Like, a CNC machine is going to help you get to that 5, 6, 7 man shop, right?
Yep.
That 10 man shop.
Yep.
Like, the work has to justify itself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to take on the work, you have to be taken on for a reason to make money.
Yep.
The more work you take on, the more labor you're going to put into it. So would
Usually
not
how it
make-
works.
Would it not make sense to kind of reduce how much work, labor you have to put into it?
That'd be smart.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What
I
do I
like
know?
saving money where I can.
What do I know? But yeah,
You want me to answer that?
we don't have enough time. For
Yeah,
this.
we don't. And I don't want to get fired at the end of this podcast.
He acts like I'm the meanest person ever.
No, you're not.
He acts like I would just fire him for anything.
You're not.
I would have fired him for that beard a long time ago if I was that kind of guy.
Whoa, back up. Leave me alone.
Garrett, where's your mic, man?
Yeah, where's your mic?
Come on, man.
Your butt.
Unbelievable. He's looking around. He's like trying to find it. Like it got up and
Like it
moved.
magically
maybe it's
walked
behind
away.
this chair over here. No, it's not behind the chair, Garrett. You didn't bring it.
Next to your sleep time mat,
Yeah,
your sippy cup.
It's still at home. God. But he's using it. He's probably using it to play Call of Duty at night. He's got it hooked up to his Call of Duty game so he can yell at people. Are you eating pickles again?
Yeah, there he goes.
There he goes. But yeah, as we were saying, he's literally now loud chewing behind you.
Yeah, and he's
trying
like
to-
crunching the bag so he
as loud
can't
as
talk.
he can.
He's
Unbelievable.
smacking his lips. I'm
I
gonna
know.
smack
Yes,
this
he's
kid.
literally trying
I'm
to
gonna
be as loud
smack
as he
this
can.
kid. You guys
But-
are gonna get to hear Garrett get hit on a live mic.
Talkin Shop uncensored.
You guys don't want that.
Garrett went to the WWE last week, and now he's came back with this newfound confidence that he feels like he can just run his mouth to everybody around the office.
Yeah, he learned a couple wrestling
Keeps
moves from
walking
old
around
John
yelling.
Cena.
Yeah, he keeps walking around yelling out because Garrett said so.
He keeps doing this thing with his hand.
yeah,
like,
the
I
little
can't
hand thing
see
in front of
him.
his face, like you can't see him.
What
like
are you,
he's the magic
8?
man.
My son does that.
Magic man, a magic man.
I'm El Diablo.
El Diablo.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the
Yeah,
franchise.
let's get back on topic here. But as we talk about the rewards of your business, adding CNC technology really is going to be elevating yourself to that next level,
Right.
right?
Taking that step.
Taking that step, it allows you to go after customers you may not be able to go after currently because either A, you don't have the bandwidth to support those people,
Right.
or maybe your prices are just a little too high because your labor is a little higher
Yeah.
because it takes you longer.
Right.
That's the other thing you have to think about. Like, how much more work could you get if you could get it out faster so you could charge a little bit less, right?
Yep.
And it's not always about the price charging a little bit less, but it's being competitive, right?
Absolutely.
You can go be competitive with that shop down the road that maybe has a CNC machine.
Right.
Or maybe you guys are all really competitive in town. There's 10 shops, right? You guys are all doing it the hard, old school way of doing it. You got to cut everything by hand.
Yeah.
But you add the CNC, and guess what? You have an advantage over everybody.
Right. Say
Right.
their lead times are at 4 weeks and you had a CNC.
Yeah.
Now you just picked up a big advantage.
That's my thing is, you cut your lead times down. But also,
Yep.
you don't have to be competitors with everybody. It's not about cutting the throats of everybody around you, right?
Right.
It's work with them.
Yeah.
I have a CNC machine. Now I'm going to go to those shops, tell them, man, I got a machine. Let's work together on this stuff. Now, Jesse, instead of you competing against me, you go bid a job. I don't care if you win the job because you're going to bring it to me and have me cut it anyways.
Yep.
I make some money on that deal.
Absolutely.
So, that's where some of that stuff happens. Then the internet. This crazy thing, the internet,
Never heard of it.
super crazy. It's this weird thing that connects people all over the world. But it's like the telephone, but like cheaper.
I prefer mailing letters.
Yeah. Sending my pigeon letters out now.
Done that a few times.
Pigeon messages, yay!
There's a couple people out there listening that's gotten that email. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, pigeon messages. But when you start thinking about it, like being able to use the internet to advertise, because now you can connect with people that you never could have connected with, right?
Right.
So now you can start advertising that you do CNC work.
Mm-hmm.
You can advertise that you have the ability to make that sign, right? You have
Yeah.
the ability to cut that cabinet.
Well, we're in
You
a
can
world,
make
a
that-
digital world, right? You can post a picture of it. Look what I did.
Yeah, like
Bam.
right off Face Space.
Right on Face World.
Yeah, right, Face World. You can go on there and post your picture of your brand new metal sign that's been powder coated.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're probably going to sell a few more.
You are.
Yeah.
There's a good chance.
Face Space for the win.
For the win.
The reality is there's a lot of technology out there at our fingertips.
Yep.
But I feel like there's so much technology we take it for granted.
I think it can be overwhelming too,
Yeah,
right?
like-
Not just taking it for granted, but there's a lot of technology that's overwhelming.
Yeah, there is. But I mean, let's think about like all the stuff that we can do from our phone, right?
Yeah.
Like I can open my garage door right now if I wanted to.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. But the problem is like, where is that beneficial to me right now? It's not.
It's not.
But when I'm locked out of my house, it's really beneficial.
Right.
So it's the same thing like a CNC machine. Like everybody's like, I don't need it right now. But when you end up with your lead times that are twice as long as everybody else, it probably benefits you then, doesn't it?
A little bit.
So it might be nice to just have it there and not absolutely, quote unquote, need it, right? It's just a part of your day, right?
Yeah.
It's a regular tool you use.
Mm-hmm.
Like my phone, I pick it up every day and I use it
Without thinking.
without thinking. It's
Yep.
just second nature.
Yep.
It's like that, you have a hammer, you have a grinder in your shop, a welder. You use them and you don't even think about it, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're tools in your shop that you're just used to using.
Yeah.
But there was a day that you didn't have those things.
Absolutely.
But
You're right.
You made a plan
And you got them.
and you got there, right? You looked for opportunity. You were, grinder being a grinder, right? You were out there grinding away, trying to find how to do something easier, quicker, more profitable.
Yeah.
It's that same sort of thing. Like the CNC world, it's a scary world for some people,
Yeah.
because you don't know it. You don't
Right.
know software. You don't understand. Like, I know how to draw. I don't know how to draw with the computer, but I know how to build that thing with my hand. Welcome aboard. Like, get on.
Welcome
Yeah,
aboard.
get on the train here, man, because that's something we've been working on for years. Like, a good majority of customers are really good at fabricating stuff with their hands, not so great with computers.
Right.
That's where we come in. We're going to teach you.
Yeah. We have free training.
We have free training. Yeah, but I mean, that's where it comes in, though, is like you have to be willing to accept the fact that you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And it's okay to ask for questions, or ask for questions. Ask for help.
I got what you were
to your
saying.
questions.
Yeah.
Ask, somebody, hey, I'm trying to do this. How do I do it? Hey, I'm going to take this course, right? There's an online tutorial. There's a video. There's a something. I'm going to call the training guy. I'm going to go to the class. Whatever it is, you have to be willing to take that next step.
Yep.
And majority of people, when they take the next step, look back and wonder why they didn't take that next step sooner.
It's not as scary as you think.
Like, well, that's exactly it. Like, people are like, I should have done this sooner. You
Yeah,
think?
you should have.
You think?
Yeah.
Like, remember that email that Jesse sent you 3 times a week for 6 months?
Yep.
There's a reason why he sent you an email 3 times a week for 6 months. He's trying to get you to realize the light at the end of the tunnel.
This is the way the world's going, people.
Like, people always are like, I need a sign, right? I need a sign that this is the right decision.
Well, my email 3 times a week's
I
a pretty
was
clear
just gonna
sign.
say, yeah, like Jesse hasn't gone away yet. So like, that's a pretty good sign.
Yep.
But I mean, in all seriousness, like you get so busy looking for reasons not to do something, you kind of miss all the reasons why you should.
Absolutely.
And that's where the success comes from. When you talk about successful people, they don't look past those reasons. They look for the reasons why they should, why they can, how they can be successful.
Yeah.
They don't look for the reasons why they're going to fail, why it doesn't work, why it doesn't make sense.
It's like they get rid of the negativity.
Yeah.
They don't allow themselves negative thoughts, negative actions, right?
Yeah, there's something I saw on Face World the other day that it kind of struck me on this one. It was, guys are like, and I don't, honestly, I can't give credit to whoever actually said this. So I apologize if you're listening and you're the person who actually said this. Like, good for you. But you deserve credit, and please call me, and I'll even give you a credit later on for it. But it was something along the lines of like, so many people in today, like they go to college, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, good for you, Tim. You went to college. Great. You're going to go $100,000 in debt. Right?
Yeah. Right off the bat.
But if that same individual tells that same group of people that I'm going to put $100,000 into starting my own business, they're going to tell them, oh, you're going to fail. What a waste of money.
Yep.
Oh, why would you do that? Oh, my God, such a risk, right? They shoot them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go buy a brand new iPhone, right? They're like,
Yep.
oh, that's so cool. Good for you. You got that new iPhone 47.
Yep.
That thing's sweet. It's got 94 cameras on it.
Yep. Cost me $6,000.
$6,000, right?
Yep.
But seriously, it's like $1,000,
Right.
Costs you $1,000. But if you take $1,000 and put it into your business, right?
Right.
Like suddenly people are like, oh,
That's a
why
lot.
would you spend $1,000 on that, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you go spend $1,000 on that new toolbox? Like they give you a hard time for it.
Right.
Like you go out and buy a brand new car, right? And they're like, oh my God, you got the new F950. You got the new Kia 150.
The new Kia 150.
Yeah, the Kia 150.
In red this time.
It's a red Kia 150.
Yep.
It cost you $40,000, right?
15.
But
It's
you
a
know what
Kia-
I'm saying.
It's a Kia F-150.
No, it's the new one,
Oh yeah, 40 grand.
not yours.
Yeah, 40.
The one with the dead deer
Yeah.
carcass hanging out the trunk.
Yeah.
Trunk won't close for some reason.
Just slam it.
There's a nose hanging out of there. I don't know if that's why. But yeah, when you start thinking about that, they $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on a new pickup truck, right?
Oh, it's awesome.
60, 70 grand on pickup. Who we kidding? 80 grand for pickup
Nice
trucks right
truck,
now.
Brandon.
Yeah, they're nice trucks, right? Everybody,
Yep.
oh my God, that's such a cool truck. I want your
Yep.
truck. Everybody praises those people, right?
Yep.
But the guy who wants to go buy a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 CNC machine, they're like,
You're
"Oh,
crazy."
You're crazy. Oh my God, how many CNC machines are out in the world, right?
Right.
How many Ford F-150s are out
How are
in
you
the
going to
world?
recoup that cost?
Yeah, like that's what this world's come to, is that like we will put down people for bettering themselves,
Right.
but we praise them for the frivolous stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I think it's maybe a jealousy thing.
it is like that's what I start to think about it. Is it's like because I went and bought an iPhone and I bought a truck, like you should too.
Yep.
Oh, what do you mean you're not buying the iPhone or the truck? You're gonna go buy a piece of equipment and make something out of it? No, that's a bad idea. Because then you'll be richer than me and you'll be more successful than
So
me.
you go clock in at Arby's, and I'm going to go buy this piece of equipment for my business.
Yeah, and
So
that's
it's
exactly
a different
it.
feeling.
It is, and then that's really what it comes down to is that you have choices in life, where you're gonna work, what you're gonna do, how you're gonna apply yourself. Like companies who invest in CNC equipment generally are doing it because they see the vision at the end of the tunnel, right?
Right.
They see the light at the end of the tunnel, the vision, whatever you want to call it. But they're looking for that reason to succeed.
Right.
That's what they're looking for.
Yes, they are.
Even in the most turbulent times, you see it like when the
But
economy.
no one's looking for a reason to fail, right?
Well, not ideal. I mean, there are people that are looking for it though. But the reality is like when the economy gets tough, investors go out and buy a property, right?
Yep.
Why do they do that?
Because you're buying it low.
They buy it low, they sell it high, right?
Yep.
They see an opportunity.
They do.
Well, when business is good, you take it, right?
Yeah.
So business for land is good when the economy is bad, right?
Right.
So right now, things are good out there. Why would you not be taking the opportunity to seize every moment you can?
There's something holding you back. What is it?
Yeah, what's that reason that you're holding you back? Like, yeah,
Is it the fear?
yeah, go get that next job. Go get the tools you need to take on more jobs. Right now, the work is out there.
Don't let anything hold you back right now.
Don't
There's
turn
no way.
things away. Yeah, there's no reason. Go get the work.
I'd be too nervous.
Yep.
Go get the equipment that you need to do the work.
Absolutely.
Buy that brand new CNC machine.
Yep.
Buy that skid steer. Buy
Absolutely.
the crane.
The work is there.
Whatever
Go
you
get
need.
it.
Like if you're a construction company, whatever you do, go get the work.
Yep. Don't let somebody else beat you to it.
Okay, and my thing is like the job market out there right now, right? You see now hiring signs everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So you can't find people. Buy equipment.
Makes sense.
Replace people with equipment then, right?
Yeah. We've already gone over those issues,
Yeah.
right? We've hammered that enough times.
So it goes back to, what others aren't seeing. They aren't seeing the success that you're seeing.
Right.
Like you are seeing something completely different. Even if your competitors in the area are like, well, I don't know, man. I don't think this. They don't want to tell you, like, if you did that, you'll kick my butt.
Right. Right.
You shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you, like, oh, no, man, it's, no, it's not a good idea. Like, okay,
Yeah,
thanks for your
if
time.
your competitor is telling you don't do it, that's a clear
Probably
sign
you should do it.
you should do it.
It's probably a good reason why they're not doing it. Because they don't see the vision that you see.
Exactly.
Because if they saw it, they'd be doing it first and you'd be following them.
Yep. There's a reason you're going to pass
Yep.
them.
Correct. So, as you start looking at that, it's what others aren't seeing doesn't necessarily mean that it's not happening, right? Your
Right.
success is 100% what's happening. It's an iceberg. There's that poster that you sometimes see with success written on it.
Yep.
And it shows like the tip of the iceberg sticking out of the water and it's just like baby iceberg.
Yeah.
And then below the surface is this massive iceberg.
90% of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like that's what people sometimes forget about is that what people see and what is happening under the surface is two different things. These successful businesses out there aren't successful by mistake.
No, they're not.
If you're looking at somebody, one of your idols out there, whoever it is, whatever person you look up to, person, company, whatever, they got there because they applied themselves.
They did.
They did something that nobody else did.
They didn't sit back and wait.
Nope.
They didn't wait for a handout. They didn't wait
Nope.
for someone to come pick them up and tell them what to do.
Yep.
They did it.
Yep. They just did it. So whether you saw it on TikTok, whether you saw it on Face World, whether you saw it on,
What can we come up with for Instagram?
I was just thinking of that too. That's where I was going.
That's what I was trying. I was trying to beat you there, but man,
Yeah.
can't really make fun of that.
Insta photo.
Instaface.
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 Instabook.
We should come up with our own social
We
media
should come up with our
site
social media.
where you can only post pictures of your face, nothing else.
No.
Yeah,
No,
just
no.
your face.
I'm out.
Why?
Pictures of you all over it. Nope.
They'd be the most successful
I'm out.
Facebook page in this
Out.
county.
They'd be like, shave the beard.
I'd have one just for my beard. Just a
Your
Facebook
beard isn't
page.
at that level where it could have its own Facebook.
In my world, it is.
That's the problem.
See?
You got to look at Sean Morley's beard. That thing should have its own Facebook page.
Man, that is an amazing beard.
That
I've
thing's
already
weird.
made comment to that before.
I know you
yeah.
did. I know you did.
I
That's
wish
what
I
I
could
read.
transplant that on my face and be a real man for just a day. This pathetic thing the cat could lick off.
Oh god, that's funny.
Yeah.
But
I
no.
keep it just for you, though. I hope you
I know
that.
you do.
Yeah.
I know you just
Yeah.
every single.
I stopped
time.
grooming it. I stopped cleaning
know.
it. I might even take up chewing and pancake eating and see if I can get some goodies in there for you.
That's funny.
It is
But-
funny.
Yeah, you you start looking at, like I said, where the world's going, what people see, what you're reading, and remember, there's a solution to every problem. And productivity, profitability, quality can all be answered different ways.
Yeah.
But automating yourself, CNC machines, being able to make your life easier is a great opportunity for a lot of businesses out there.
Yep.
I encourage you to do some research on that. Go check it out. Talk to customers. Talk to real people who are running CNC machines.
Absolutely.
Talk to the ones who have them.
Yep.
That's what I always say.
We'll give you references.
Yeah, we'll give references out. Like, talk to people who have the machines.
Yep.
These are people who have spent their money and been in your shoes and been scared. Wasn't sure it was the great idea, right? But
Yep.
they did it. They took that and said, you know what? Fear is only fear. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to go try it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. I'm going to sell it, right?
Right. It's like they're going to come take you and put you in jail if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
Like, big deal.
Yeah, like sell it.
Sell it.
Trust me, you're going to find that there's a reason why there's not a lot of used ones out there.
Yep.
Not a lot of used ShopSabres, at least.
There's
Like,
not.
you reason for it is because people typically find success while using their ShopSabres.
Yep.
And you have a lot of good people behind you to teach you it. So the number one things that you would fail on typically is not knowing how to run it. Is not a problem because it's free to have our team help you.
Right.
So, that's kind of where I am with that. I know next week we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about an actual topic. It's going to be about vacuum.
Okay.
I think next week I think we have
We have a
Josh.
guest coming.
Yeah, we have Josh from Becker Pumps.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
That'd be a good
So
time.
it's gonna be a call-in actually interview. So we're gonna figure out how to use that. Yeah, he's gonna call in.
You're going to have Garrett figure that out. The
can
guy
be-
that can't figure out to bring his mic with, you're going to have him figure that out?
Yep, he was playing with it today. I
Okay.
saw him testing it today.
Okay.
It didn't work, but we're gonna hope it works next week.
You got 6 days to figure it
Yeah,
out, bud.
6 days and counting to work.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to have Josh on next week. We're going to talk a little bit about vacuum hold down, Becker
Cool.
pumps. It's going to be some cool stuff there. And then I think the week after that, we're trying to get Sean Morley on that week. Sean's been so busy that we keep teasing that, oh, yeah, Sean's going to be on next week. And then he's like, I'm busy, man. I can't make it. So can't blame a guy, right? Can't
Right.
blame a guy for being busy. He's got a business to run because he's successful,
Hope you
right?
understand. People want to hear him.
Yep.
The people are demanding it.
Yep. I mean, he puts the work in. He puts the time in. So that's going to be a cool thing. But
Yeah, he's a great reference. He's a great resource for sure.
yeah, Josh will be here next week. Hopefully Sean the following week. We didn't talk enough about cookies today.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm
gonna go
really
get some
hungry
cookies.
today,
I'm gonna
so
go get
I'm
some
glad
cookies.
we didn't.
That's for sure. I'm gonna go get
I don't
some
think I've
cookies.
eaten yet today.
It's
I
been a
really
busy
want
day.
some cookies.
It's
It
been a
has
pretty
been
busy
crazy.
day. You know, it's a good thing. That means, obviously people are getting CNC machines right now. I mean, it's getting into that time of year. I always
It
say
is.
that. Like August is like CNC month,
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect time to take advantage of the Section 179 tax credit.
right? I
Yep.
mean, when you think about that, buying a CNC machine, you can a lot of times. And hey, we're not speaking for everybody. Go talk to your tax advisor. But a lot of times you can get tax break for your buying a CNC machine.
Yep.
So the good news is you buy it now. You can still get it by the end of the year.
Yeah, most of them
Yeah.
most accountants want that landed before they write
I mean,
that
the
off,
cool
right?
thing about it is that you can get it still.
Yeah.
You're
There's time.
still, that's why I say it's CNC month.
Yep.
Because like once we get into the next month, September,
it's getting
It's
close.
getting close.
Yep.
October, now you're really fighting for
Well,
it.
we also it gets busier too,
That's
right?
my point.
As
Like
we get into that
everybody
time of
starts
year.
thinking about it. Like, I should get that CNC. Like everybody's like kind of in that mode of like, is summer really ending?
Yeah.
No.
It's sad.
It's coming. I'm
Yep.
sorry, guys. Every year it's a vicious cycle. Summer happens and you're like, yay, summer, and then you go, oh no, summer.
Yeah, unless there's
Let
people
down.
like down in Florida, California, Texas, where you don't get negative 55 degrees with 24
They probably
feet of
like
snow.
winter a little bit better.
No,
I bet they do.
nobody likes winter.
I bet they do.
Really?
It's not 300 degrees outside.
I don't think Texas liked it this last year, did they?
Well, that was
They got a
that
dose
was
of it.
messed up.
Yeah, it was.
Arizona got some
Yeah,
snow. That was messed up.
they don't like winter at
But
all.
They I bet their winter season a lot of times. 'Cause then it's
Sure.
not a bazillion degrees outside.
Right, I couldn't do that side
No.
of things. No way.
I have no hair. You know what
Could
happened
you
to me?
imagine being Fat Brandon and Fat Jesse down there?
Oh my
Ooh.
god. I burned my head.
Yeah, that thing would fry.
Oh my god.
There's no hair to protect it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like straight UV rays to the brain.
yeah, it's like right to the.
That explains a lot.
Maybe that's it. It's like microwaving my brain.
Yeah, there's been some things that have changed with you lately.
There we
That
go.
might be part
Shave
of
the
it.
head.
You ever
fry
thought
the
about
brain.
getting one of those aluminum hats?
Aluminum hats.
Yeah.
I was gonna get one of those helmets with the little beer cup things,
Yeah.
But
For all the water you drink? or
soda
what?
in there?
Yeah, some soda? I
yeah.
think you should get one of those big Amish hats. That'd
don't
look
think I could
really
pull that
nice
off.
on you. No, I think you could.
I don't think I could.
I think you could.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll try that.
I don't know. You
I
do
don't know either.
something.
But like I said, it's the end of the summer. It's ending of the summer.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna be going back to school. There's a lot of people out there like, yes, I can't wait.
Right?
Like,
And
right?
they go back early here this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm shipping them off earlier.
Shouldn't have taken them out.
I'm like, yeah, you guys should go to school this week. Yeah, it doesn't start till next week. Go now.
Yeah.
Get an early seat.
Get an
But-
early seat.
Yeah. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jesse.
Thanks for talking shop with ShopSabre.